Where did that even come from? The movie?
I don't know.
My papa was born on Friday, so. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Is that just like a superstitious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that like a series movie about it?
Yeah, there was like a whole series.
Was it?
All the way
Isn't
to
that
like
Freddy?
48 or something.
Yeah.
Isn't that Freddy Krueger?
Yeah.
No, he's not Mary Elm Street. Friday the 13th was Jason or the Hockey
Oh,
Boys.
that's right.
I don't watch scary movies.
Those all started coming out like when I was in junior high age. That was the big thing on school watching. I didn't like it.
I think it's funny because my mom loves scary movies, but my dad never wants to see them with her.
My dad's the worst person to watch scary movies with because they think it's funny and it's just,
Alright, on our properties of logarithms here, we've got 3 of them. Okay, 3 properties. First one is our product property. We know product deals with multiplication. And how this works with our properties, product multiplication is friends with addition. So if you had something that said the log base b of m times n, so let's say there's your multiplication, that's the same as if it was the log base b of m plus the log base b of n. So it took what you were multiplying, and now that's going to be equal to if we had added them. Okay, then you've got a quotient property, which is division, and division is friends with subtraction. So if we had something that said log base b of m divided by n, that's going to be the same as log base b of m minus the log base b of n. Okay, then our last property is the power property. So if we have a log that's got a power, if I had the log base b of m to the n power, that power comes down in front. So this is going to bring that n down to the front, so it would be n times the log base b of m.
How come you did n plus n on the first one instead of n plus
Say that, I don't understand.
So on like
Right here.
yeah, with the next one you did n minus n, and then you did everything on the last one, but on the first one you just did n plus n.
That's an m. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I thought they were both n.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I have a really quick question. Can my B's be capital or the
Yeah. Yeah. And you could technically leave the b's off and have an extra base 10 if you wanted to. Yes, so it'll be any numbers or variables in there. We're going to work some problems so you'll know. My handwriting did get me out of a chore that I was pretty glad of. They were, after my grandma's funeral, they were who had to do this and who had to do that, and it was who was going to write the thank you cards. And every cousin there looked at me and said, "You don't have to." So messy handwriting paid off. I got out of writing thank you cards. Thank you goodness. All right, let's just use some of those now and see how this is all going to float. Find where I was.
Seems pretty simple.
It is. Yes. There we go. Now I know where. Alright, I've got log base 3 of 4x. Alright, our directions on this say expand the logarithmic expression. Expand. So we've got the condensed version there, and we're going to expand it. So the condensed version, if you're looking at the properties you copied down, the condensed version is the one on the left. It only has log written once. we're going to expand it out, make it bigger, where we've got log written several times. Okay? So I got to look and I got to see, well, what is in that expression? I got a 4x. What does 4x mean? Multiplication. So I'm looking at the product property. What's friends with multiplication on the product property? Addition. So I take the first piece, log base 3 of 4. And now I got to do log base 3 again and add that to the second piece. And that's it. We expanded it. I don't know why. There's a lot of things that I don't know what the purpose is. What good did that do me? I don't know what log base 3 of 4x is. I don't know what this, I don't know. But we did it. Woohoo! Not real sure what we did, but we did it. That's kind of bad. Alright, this one says log of 10x to the 5th. Alright, what's our understood base on that one? 10. Remember, if there's no base, it's an understood 10. Doesn't matter. I just, for what we're going to do here, I just want to keep you that fresh in your brain. This one, this problem's got two properties in it. Multiplication and power. Very good. So let's do the multiplication first. So this is going to be log base 10 of 10.
Do you have to put 10?
No, no.
Oh.
That 10 is for that 10. I didn't put the base 10. Plus the log of x to the 5th. That took care of my product property, right? And you can do it all in one step if you want to. I'm just showing my baby steps here. Now I've got a power. So this piece is the power property. The reason I like to do it this way in multiple steps like that is so you make sure and see that that power is only on one piece. So that power comes down in front, but it only comes down in front of the piece that it's with. So this is going to be, keep that log 10 over here on the left, plus, now we bring that power down, so that's 5 log x. That's it. Okay, pretty simple, just rewriting stuff. Okay, let's look at, got ln of x over 3y. Alright, ln, what did ln stand for?
Ooh, that was E, but E.
Has to do with it, it's a log base e, yes. But what did those backwards initials stand for? Natural log, very good. And natural log, Gracie's right, comes from log base e. But that, I don't have to rewrite that. I can just leave it as ln right here. Okay, so we're going to do it the same way that we've done the other ones. There are two of the properties used here. Good, David. Quotient's one. What's the other one? Product is on the bottom down there. Very good. So quotient's friends with what? No. Quotient's friends with subtraction. Because it is division, you're right. So you want to have the L natural log of x minus the natural log of 3y. Okay? Say your question again.
Do you have to write your L's like that?
No, I just write cursive when I write an L. I don't know why. You can. I guess because I might think it's a 1 if I don't. Okay, I haven't finished yet. There's the product property still on that right side in there. So I need to do that now. So that's going to be, keep my natural log the same on the left there. The natural log of x minus natural log of 3 plus natural log of y. Every time you do a property, if it's a natural log or a log, you got to put that in there. Remember, we're going from small to big, so we want to put the natural log or the log. So what I'm trying to say is, don't write this. Don't write ln of 3 plus y. That's not the same. You have to put the natural log in there. Okay? Alright. Yes, ma'am.
What is that natural law with three natural law of y given the parentheses? Or are we just subtracting the natural law of three?
That's a very good point. The way I have it written, you would not. So we do need to put a parentheses on that. On is correct. The way this is x divided by 3y, so we have to divide by both of those pieces. So to show that here, we would need to put that in parentheses, because if not, my order of operations would have just went left to right. So that's a good job on that. Very swift. Alright, now let's look at, where'd that go, the one I saw, there it is. Log base 7 of 5 square roots of x. Okay. Now, it looks at first glance like there's only one property there. There's two, because there's one in disguise. Don't panic if you don't see the one in disguise yet. I'm going to help you find him in a second. Do what? Very good, Colin. Alright, the obvious one that you ought to be able to see is the product property. So let's attack that one first. I got log base 7 of 5 plus log base 7 of the square root of x. Now I'm going to give you a hint on the property that's in, the property that it's in disguise. And Kylie saw it. It's the power property. So where's there a power up there? Close. What's the square root of x the same as? Yes, David, that's right. Because this is power over root. So square root of x is the same as x to the 1/2 power. Remember that? It's been a few days, but we've talked about that. So if I've got, let me just write all that, log base 7 of 5 plus log base 7 of x to the 1/2. And so you might need to remind yourself again about your power over root there if you forgot that. So now what did we do when we had a power? We brought it down to the front. So I've got log base 7 of 5 plus 1/2 times log base 7 of x. Alright, so when you have a radical and you're told to expand, you're going to rewrite it as a power. You can rewrite any radical as a power. If you had the 4th root of z to the 9th, that's the same as power over root, right? So anytime you're expanding these and you've got a radical, you're going to put it in exponent form. That's just a little side note reminding you on that. I don't know why I use z. That was weird. Because I'm one. Let me see. It has a line through it.
I know. That's what I was saying.
One of my nieces' name is Lizzie. And when I write her name, I always put the line through it. Just one day she asked me why I did that. And I said, because my z's look like 2's. And she said, well, there are no 2's in my name. Said, excuse me, you little smarty pants. Just a habit now. You could be. How would you say? Latui? Oh. Two in a row. 2 in a row, Shell. Just 2 in a row.
Yeah.
My grandma already died. I don't look for that anymore. My older sister is a principal at the school, so she has to go to truancy court one time. One of our students is there. She's asking me about it. That's funny. So if y'all are ever in truancy court, y'all can meet us. Or shut up. Don't go to truancy court.
Okay, when you said that first.
What, Tui?
No, whatever your phone went off and you said that was your personal.
Well, last week I kept it in my pocket all the time because it was expected, so I wanted to know. But I don't have any expectations. How do you say that?
Expectations.
Expectations coming out.
That's average.
Yes, yes. All right, so this time we're going to go backwards. The directions for this say to condense the logarithmic expression. So it's already been expanded. So we're on the right side of those properties we wrote. We're going to bring them back to the left. Okay? So what I see there is a minus sign. So I'm looking on my properties to see which one subtraction is friends with. Division. It's the quotient property. So this would rewrite as log base 4. And the first one goes on top over 10. And when we're condensing, condense means make smaller. So we only want to write log one time. So that's it.
Wait, what is it called when we expanded it last time?
Uh-huh.
This is what.
Condensing. Another Harmony Grove student probably just got called up. No, I never pushed a button, so it's reminding me I got a text that time.
How many accidents or whatever you have to go to the next one?
I don't know what the rule is.
Very popular. Bring this together. Yeah, I know don't use one. I'll make sure she doesn't. I don't know where it is.
Okay, that says 6 ln x plus 4 ln y. Those are ln's, natural logs. 6 ln x plus 4 ln y. Alright, so what property is involved when there's a number out in front of the log? Power. So this 6 is going to be a power on that x, and this 4 is going to be a power on that y. So I know how to tackle that. What about an addition sign?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Product. So I'm going to have the natural log of x to the 6th times y to the 4th. No, this is easy.
I don't know what's wrong with me, but I don't think so.
We're just rewriting using those properties. So did you see? First thing I would see.
I saw what you did.
So first still here, the plus sign. I look and see which one that goes with. So on your chart, which one does the plus sign go with? Product means multiply, so I've got to multiply it over here. Then when there's a number out in front, it goes to the power. So it's not, and the thing is, Lilia, the reason it's hard sometimes to grasp is because we didn't really figure anything out. We just made it look different. And you're wanting to figure something out. But you're just rewriting on this. Alright, if I had log base 3 of 4, plus 2 log base 3 of a half, my marker's delaying now, plus log base 3 of x. That's a 4 on the first one. Log base 3 of 4 plus 2 log base 3 of a half plus the log base 3 of x.
That's a lot.
Yep. Okay, what, anybody got one to start with?
I have a really quick question.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you have logs with different bases for this?
No, no. And on the properties, and that's a good question that Gracie had, the bases have to be the same. On the properties, when we wrote them down, we used a B every time. We didn't put a B or a C. So it's got to be the same on those. Good question. All right. Product is what Caitlin wants to start with, and it's going to all be products because they're all addition. So I'm going to have the log base 3 of 4. Now, I'm already at a roadblock, because what am I going to write here? I can't write times a half.
Oh, it's
1/2 squared, which is 1/4, right? And then this one's got an X. Now, you can do one more thing to that. You can simplify that, because you know what 4 times 1/4 is. 1, so that would be the log base 3 of 1x. That's it. Now, I'm going to show you one thing that the book does with this that I didn't like. It's supposed to be first. I saved it for last because I didn't like it. But I'll show you in case it's on the test or anything. So I gave you, log base 2 of 3/7. Not log. Log base 2 of 3/7. Now, this is, the reason I don't like this, and I used to have to teach it this way, because I used to not know my calculator could do that. But now my calculator can do that. I can hit math, log base, and I can type that in and get an answer. So, but I used to not know that, so I had to use equivalents. Like they would tell me, somebody would have to tell me that log base 2 of 3 is close to 1.585, and log base 2 of 7 is close to 2.807. And then I would use that info, and I would use the properties that we just wrote. Okay, I still think I could do, and you can too, you can do this way faster, but I'm showing you how we would do it without a calculator. So this is division. Division is friends with subtraction, so I would have the log base 2 of 3 minus the log base 2 of 7. And now I know what those are close to. So I would just say 1.585 minus 2.807. Which, say that again?
Why not log?
Because this is equivalent to that. So if you hit log base 2 of 3 on your calculator, this is what it will tell you, so you don't use that log anymore. So that would be about negative 1.222. The reason I'm not crazy about that is because if somebody told me these, where'd they get that from?
Because you can't use a calculator. So
Right, they got that from their calculator. So if they can get that from their calculator, why can't I just do that and get the same answer? Okay? So you don't have to do it this way, but that's the way that the book teaches it. Okay? Alright, what you think?
Yeah.
Alright.
That's it.
Yep, that's properties of logs. Tomorrow, probably going to do an assignment over some log stuff. So, won't be one of the puzzle ones like I leave with you. It'll be something different.
Dang it, we can't work